Can you read to me the nameplate?
Judge Eboni K Williams.
So the only thing that matters in this particular courtroom is how I see it. I am from North Carolina by way of Louisiana with some West Coast cool and a New York edge. Do we have a problem, ma'am?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Equal justice is all about the most important values of our country: freedom, integrity, and those are the things that I'm striving for. Ma'am, you run your household, this man gets to run his. I decided to become an attorney and pursue the law. I wanted to be a voice for the voiceless. This court cannot hold this woman accountable. People from all sectors of life, black, white, purple, gay, straight, queer, and that's what equal justice with Judge Eboni K Williams is all about.
Paul Welling claims the needle of his vintage record player and a vinyl album were broken by his neighbor's son while he was out of town. Donna Gallagher says her tween did admit to damaging the record, but nothing else.
So good day. I've got Mr. Paul Welling here as my plaintiff and Donna Gallagher as my defendant. Ms. Gallagher, I see you've got a witness with you. I assume this is your son? Yes. Okay, hello. Leo, is it?
Yes.
Excellent. All right. Mr. Welling, why are we in court today?
We're here, Your Honor, because I had reached out to Mrs. Gallagher I had to go on a golfing trip with a few buddies for a 3-day weekend. And I reached out to Miss Gallagher to see if Leo could feed my fish.
Okay, so you got some pet fish. You didn't want them unattended.
Yes.
So you wanted this young man to be responsible for them while you were on your golf trip. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, continue.
I showed Leo how to
care for the fish.
Care for the fish, to
feed them.
And he also asked me about my vintage record collection. I have an album collection.
Great. And now, do you have some photos of this so the court can see?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Go ahead and give that to my bailiff, sir. Give him everything you have in your folder there.
Entire folder.
So we can try to review this.
The folder.
Thank you.
Thank you,
sir.
Okay, so this is all sounding just dandy. Where does this all go left?
Well, upon my return, I came home and I found out my needle from my vintage record player was damaged, and I have the record needle here.
That's the needle?
And one of my vintage records were broke.
That's flopping in the wind.
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead and give that to my bailiff, sir, so I can examine it.
Thank you, sir.
Wow, this is a mess. Okay. And then this is the, this is the needle. The needle. Okay, I'm understanding. And this is no longer usable, you're saying, sir?
It's no longer usable.
Okay, we know this ain't usable. Okay, who was this, by the way?
Marvin Gaye.
Oh, no, not Marvin Gaye, child. Ain't no sexual healing going on for you, Mr. Welling. Okay, let me get to these pieces here. So let's see this beautiful aquarium. I mean, this isn't just a fish tank. This is an exquisite aquarium you've got here with all these beautiful fish. I mean, this is, I don't know, what is that, 6 feet, Elijah? I mean, that's
about 6 feet on.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge. Okay, and so he was supposed to feed the fish. And did he feed the fish?
Yes, he did.
Okay, so he did that part correct.
Yes, he did.
Okay, now where does this record player situation come into play?
If you look on the pictures that I have, you can see the vintage records. I have about, like I said, several hundred of them.
Of the records?
They're all in the...
Okay, so I'm looking at a receipt here for this particular record. Oh, those are all the records.
Yes.
So that's your collection.
That's my collection, and the record player is right on top of it.
Okay, so tell me, I'm looking at this receipt. This is for the Marvin Gaye record. That was $25, so you're seeking the full $30?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And then, that's the needle?
That's the needle, special line contact.
So this needle is $660?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, you still haven't told me, though, sir, how he broke said needle and record. Because what does feeding fish have to do with the records?
Well, when he came over to the house, he saw the albums.
Yeah.
And he wanted to know how to play them. So I took the albums out, one of the albums out. It wasn't the Marvin Gaye, it was another album.
Okay.
I took it out and put it in the record player.
Got it.
And started playing it.
Okay.
What's making it so bad or so hard, Your Honor, is that you just can't take any needle and put it on a record player.
Right.
The quality of the needle, the sound, the audio is what you're listening for.
Okay.
So when you're playing old records, you don't want to just put a $20 needle on.
No, apparently you got to put a $660 needle on. Okay, all right, I see. Okay, so you're showing this young man all of this. He's learning, and then how does he end up? Let me guess. You go on your trip. You showed him what you showed him, and then when you left, and he was doing the fish feeding, he started playing with the record and whatnot, and that's how it got damaged?
That's what he did, Your Honor.
Let's find out more from the defendant. Ms. Gallagher, thank you for coming to court today. You tell me your side. This man is saying that all of this is your son's fault. What is your, what's your say?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Welling believes that my son broke the needle. However, this is not true. Leo did confess that he did, in fact, break the record, but he did not touch the record player, and therefore I don't believe that I am responsible for paying $660 to replace the needle.
Okay, and let me hear from the young witness here. He's sworn in, Elijah?
He is sworn in.
Okay.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
I just noticed his collection of records.
Have you seen one of those before?
No.
Okay.
I've only seen
Elijah,
him on
that we owe.
And later,
Oh, he did a lot. Okay, now the because it's one thing to get like a snack. He got a whole surf and turf. So we doing steak and lobster. Okay.
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with the case of Paul Welling, who brought Donna Gallagher to court over a damaged record player and LP.
You take this job to fish sit for this young man. So tell me how you started even talking about and engaging with the record player and the records. Let's get to that part.
Well, I just noticed his collection of records.
Had you seen one of those before?
No.
Okay.
I've only seen
Elijah,
him on.
that we owe.
Is more-
Hey, watch this one. Have you ever seen, do you know what a CD is? You know what a compact disc is?
No.
No, exactly. How about this one? A disc man, you know what that is?
No.
Exactly. Ooh.
We owe.
We owe.
We owe.
Okay, all right, so you see this archive, this artifact known as a record, and you're curious because you've never seen this before, right? And then, you know, your nice neighbor here, Mr. Welling, explains everything to you, and he lets you know that. Does he say to you, Leo, that these are delicate and that they must be handled with care? What does he say to you?
He says things that you love, you need to take care of, and you need to be really gentle with the records, and especially the needle.
Yes. Oh, so he did tell you all of that?
Yeah.
Okay, so good. Okay, so he goes on about his golfing trip with his buddies. You start coming over every day. And how many days were you supposed to feed the fish?
3 days.
3 days, okay. So you're coming over, and which day did this alleged breaking happen?
This happened on Sunday, the last day.
The last day. So you did the first 2 days were great.
Yes.
Okay, so third day, last day, you go feed the fish, you feed the fish, and then you start getting curious about the records?
Yes.
Okay, so you go over to what? Browse through them, or what? You tell me what happened, Leo.
I reached for one of the records, and as I pulled it out, it slipped out of the sleeve and hit the ground, and it cracked.
Is it this the record?
Yes.
That you, okay. Okay, so you're saying that you never even got a chance to put it on the record player.
Yes.
So therefore, you don't know anything about this. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Mom, is that the story he told you?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes.
Okay, what say you, Mr. Welling?
Well, Your Honor, when he came over Thursday,
The day after?
the day to show him how to feed the fish tank the day before.
Oh, the day before,
He came.
okay.
I left Friday.
Right.
He came over Thursday. I played records. We played a record. After that, after he did that, then he left.
Did
and
you
he
play
went
this
home.
record?
No, it was
No, it was
another
a different
record.
one. Okay.
It was another record.
He's saying, though, to the court, Mr. Welling, that he's admitting, actually, that he broke Marvin Gaye record. He's saying he did that. He's owning that.
Yes,
But he's
Your
saying he don't know nothing about this $660 needle that you're speaking about.
Well, Your Honor, how could it be I was gone for 3 days and come back on Monday morning, and I couldn't play my I couldn't play my
Okay,
record.
so you're saying, Mr. Welling, that it worked just fine before
Yes,
your
Your
trip.
Honor.
But when you got back and you went to play a record, no
Yes,
dice.
if you look at it, Your Honor, there's no needle in it.
Well, I was wondering. I didn't want to say
There's
nothing.
no needle.
Okay. So this is where the needle should be?
Yes.
Right here.
Yes,
Okay.
right on. If you pull it, you could pull it apart.
Okay, and that's what I'm seeing here.
Yes.
Okay, I see. So it's missing. It is missing. Okay, let me look at these emails that you've provided to the court, Mr. Welling. I'm disappointed because I trusted him and you didn't even give me the courtesy to let me know what happened. I found my record player needle broken and one of my vintage records. I will need to be reimbursed for this immediately. It's $660 for the new needle and $30 for the record replacement. This is frustrating. I would like to talk to Leo when I get the chance. What you was gonna say to Leo?
was just going to tell him that you have to be responsible. You have to be accountable for things that you do. And I felt that he's a good kid. Leo's a good kid.
I get that impression. In fact, he's such a good kid, I believe, that he's taken a sworn oath with my bailiff here to tell this court the truth and nothing but the truth. Correct, Leo?
Yes.
Now I'm going to ask you to stand in your integrity, young man. How old are you?
I'm 12 years old.
12 years old, right? Elijah, this is the becoming of a man, right? We're witnessing this in real time. And I believe if you had anything to do with the breaking of this man's fine record player needle, I believe you would tell the court. Did you touch this man's record playing needle in any way that caused this damage for it to be broken?
No.
No. Okay. I believe that I've heard enough from both of you. Young Leo, I appreciate your testimony. You may have a seat, young man. And here's where I am on this matter. I agree with you, Mr. Welling. Respect for other people's things as if they are your own is paramount. But the court has to deal with the facts, Mr. Welling, and the court has to deal with what you can prove. You say yourself, I am assuming Leo did it. This case turns on one word. I cannot hold this woman or this young man by proxy accountable for your assumption, sir. Now, if you had had a surveillance video of some sort in your home, then I could award in your favor. But absent that type of offering of proof, sir, I cannot sustain a ruling that supports an assumption on your part. Now, what we do know for sure, he broke your record. He broke your Marvin Gaye classic vinyl. We don't accept that in the court. The court will rule in your favor to the tune of $30. See what I did there, the tune? Y'all caught that? Anyways, to the tune of $30 for the broken Marvin Gaye record. The young man took ownership in my court, and I believe him. I choose to believe that he did not touch your needle, and without proof otherwise, the rest of your claim is dismissed. So I rule in favor of the plaintiff, but for $30.
Yeah.
That's my ruling.
Judge Eboni has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $30. Coming up on Equal Justice.
You were satisfied with his work?
Yes, to a point.
But tell me more. What do you mean to a point? Did he do good or no?
He did show up to set late.
Oh.
We were supposed to start shooting at 8 a.m. and he came at 11.
I'm so sorry. You said 3 hours late.
Yes.
This is Equal Justice. Ryan Parks claims an actor from her TV pilot took her generosity too far after she saw his hefty room service tab. Kyle Jones says Miss Parks told him to enjoy himself, so he followed her instructions.
Good day. I see I've got Ryan Parks as my plaintiff and Mr. Kyle Jones as the defendant. Ms. Parks, I see you're suing for $458. You say that this man took advantage of your kindness. Tell us why we're in court today.
Well, I'm suing the defendant today because I had him in my film, actually a pilot, and I put him up in a hotel room because his car broke down, and he upcharged my card at the hotel.
You were satisfied with his work?
Yes, to a point.
But tell me more. What do you mean to a point? Did he do good or no?
He did okay, but he did show up to set late.
Oh.
We were supposed to start shooting at 8 a.m. and he came at 11.
I'm so sorry. You said 3 hours late?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Because where I'm coming from, time is money, right?
Time is money.
Okay,
on set
we'll get to his
especially.
side, but okay, so you're saying he showed up to set 3 hours late, delaying more production costs.
Yes, and he didn't know all of his lines completely, so it set us back a little bit, and we had to reshoot a couple scenes the next day.
Okay, and so you talk about this kindness being taken advantage of. What do you mean by that, ma'am?
I went out of my way to make room in our budget to set him up in the hotel room, and he took advantage of that, and he racked up the prices of room service and of the mini bar and of drinks, adding up to $458. That was not previously agreed on.
Okay, do you have a receipt to show the court what you spent, ma'am?
I do, ma'am.
Okay, go ahead. Please proffer that to my
I'll
bailiff
just have your entire folder, please. Thanks.
so I can see exactly how much we're talking about. Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Coming up on Equal Justice.
Another steak and lobster mac and cheese and an Angus cheeseburger. One thing about this gentleman, you got to hand it to him. He has some great taste.
This is Equal Justice. Equal Justice is back with the case of Ryan Parks, who blames Kyle Jones for sky-high room service charges.
Oh, he did a lot. Okay, now the because it's one thing to get like a snack. He got a whole surf and turf. So we doing steak and lobster. Okay. Margarita from the mini bar incidentals, $50. Golly. And the next morning too, French toast special, another steak and lobster mac and cheese, and a Angus cheeseburger. One thing about this gentleman, you got to hand it to him. He has some great taste. Okay. I'll be back with you in a minute, ma'am. Sir,
Yes,
welcome
hi.
to court. In addition to your great taste for fine dining and exquisite cocktails, explain to the court why you thought it was in your permission to spend this woman's money so cavalier.
She contacted me about a week before we started shooting, and the night of the Friday that I actually checked in, I still had not gotten the script. So the drinks were to calm my nerves about not knowing any of my lines the day prior to shooting. And so she told me to enjoy myself in the room. Next day when I came to set, there was...
So I want to be clear, sir. You're saying that the only instruction that this woman, who's the director-producer of the film, who is employing you,
Yes.
she just simply said, enjoy yourself.
Yeah, I was simply following directions as she told me to.
You eventually get the script. Do you show up on time to set, sir?
I did not. I got it at 11 o'clock the night prior, and considering it was about 80 pages worth, it was a full-length, 30-minute dramatic, and I was the lead. And taking care of 2 kids at the time, I have to develop a character that properly suits what's going on. I mean...
Okay. What about that, ma'am? Did he get the script at 11 o'clock at night?
He did, yes,
Why
Your
was
Honor.
that the case?
Because our writers were making adjustments to the script, so I didn't want to give him a last-minute script. But
that's exactly what you ended up giving him. You do understand it's commonplace in your train of business to give revised scripts, right? Because you could have given him a script upon arrival. He says he arrived at 8. He could have gone to the hotel room, been able to start learning some lines, and then if there's a revision, then there's a revision.
I basically stayed up to like 3 a.m. to make sure that I had most of the lines down as good as I could within the time frame.
Judge Eboni's verdict when equal justice returns. This is Equal Justice.
I do believe that she did tell you to enjoy the room. I'm going to give you that much. What I am not going to concede, sir, is that enjoy the room stretches to the kind of interpretation that you would have this court to believe. Because under your theory, enjoy the room could mean call over some of my friends and buddies and we have a party. So when you have that kind of interpretation, Mr. Jones, that allows for enjoy the room to mean any and everything you want it to mean, we get away from a standard of reasonableness that this court has to respect. Therefore, I'm going to do this. I'm going to say that you both contributed to the ambiguity of the communication here, and I'm going to split this baby. Therefore, the court will rule in favor of the plaintiff, but ma'am, it's for $300. That's my ruling.
Judge Eboni has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $300.
I hope we can still have a working relationship. You're a good actor.
I would really hope so too. I really enjoyed working on this project with you.
Okay, you've had your day in court. Please grab your belongings and follow me. Ladies first.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.